And they had just contacted him to make that threat official. That's why I volunteered to lend him some food so he could feed Zach. Johnny went on to explain, his voice filled with emotion, I didn't want that little boy to go hungry. His eyes betrayed his pain at betraying his mother and his profound impact on his teacher. Okay, Johnny, I'm done. Just relax. No more noise for me. The director stepped in when he noticed that Mr. Miller was becoming increasingly distressed and that the youngster was struggling to describe the incident, saying, I think it has been made clear to all of us what has happened. Mr. Deere, the director is correct. That's sufficient. A bad misunderstanding has led to this whole thing. Our next step is to help Mr. Miller find a solution that will allow him to focus on his son and ensure that no one goes hungry. Do you have any opinions? It was Mrs. Amber's suggestion. You have my undying gratitude. Mr. Miller's confession was so moving that he struggled to hold back tears as he told the story. Mr. Miller never had to worry about paying the bills again, and Mrs. Amber began to trust her little Johnny more, the little boy who had once again shown them that life can be wonderful with a little more generosity and empathy. Fortunately, a fundraiser organized by Amber Franklin and the principal to help the teacher and his son was a tremendous success, with contributions from all the teachers at the school and many parents. With this money, he was able to cover his son's entire treatment. That's all about the first story, and now let's watch another similar story. Cindy found herself plunged into unfamiliar territory when she chose to shadow her daughter's school friend. Despite feeling uneasy about her actions and the potential consequences if caught, her maternal instincts drove her to investigate further. However, her well-intentioned interference ultimately led to a heartbreaking outcome, leaving everyone involved in tears. Cindy's initial concern was sparked when her daughter confided in her about her friend's alarming circumstances. She couldn't shake the questions swirling in her mind: why wasn't the child provided with lunch for school, and why were her clothes always worn out? Determined to ensure the child's well-being, Cindy delved deeper, unaware of the Pandora's box she was about to open. Her actions inadvertently exposed the family's struggles, sparking a heated debate online and revealing hidden turmoil behind closed doors. Cindy, a devoted mother to her daughter Emma, prioritized her child above all else. However, Emma's increasing appetite raised suspicions, prompting Cindy to confront the issue head-on rather than resorting to covert investigations. Cindy's inquiry into her daughter's increased lunch requests took an unexpected turn when Emma timidly revealed that she needed extra lunch for a friend named Jessica. This revelation left Cindy with a flurry of new questions, including why Emma felt compelled to share her lunch. Concern for her daughter's well-being led Cindy to fear the worst, wondering if Jessica might be pressuring Emma into sharing her food as a form of bullying. Determined to investigate, Cindy made the mistake of trying to identify Jessica during school drop-off, observing Emma's interaction with a smaller girl whom she presumed to be Jessica. However, Cindy's assumptions were shattered when she witnessed Emma's affectionate exchange with the seemingly vulnerable Jessica, whose unkempt appearance stood in stark contrast to Emma's neat attire. This realization left Cindy grappling with conflicting emotions, questioning how Jessica's mother could allow her daughter to appear so neglected. As Cindy mulled over Jessica's situation, her concern for the girl only deepened, prompting her to broach the subject with Emma after school. I relied on Emma's insights because I wanted to know more about Jessica, but the truth she revealed deeply unsettled me. As a mother, I couldn't shake the chilling realization that Jessica didn't have a bedroom. I was worried about my daughter's friend, so I felt I had to do something. I knew it was a reckless plan, but I resolved to follow Jessica after school to find out the truth. Using Emma's involvement in swimming practice as an excuse, Cindy quietly followed Jessica as she made her way home from school. Cindy's suspicions were already high, but what she was about to encounter was even more unsettling than she had anticipated. Cindy followed Jessica to a scrapyard, where she watched in confusion as the electronic gate let her in before closing behind her. Do you know if Jessica's dad owns or works at the scrapyard? Is this where she used to spend her afternoons? Cindy was hesitant to go any further onto private property, so she grudgingly went home to come up with a new strategy. No matter how much Cindy tried to divert her attention that night, she was unable to get any relief from her anxiety, and the days that followed were particularly trying. Cindy became increasingly worried when she saw that Jessica was no longer waiting for Emma at the school gate during drop-offs. Despite her reluctance to meddle in other people's affairs, Cindy felt she had to ask Emma about her friend's whereabouts because of the abrupt disappearance. Emma's somber response revealed that Jessica had been consistently late and looked exhausted every day of the week. Driven by her unwavering commitment to protecting Jessica, Cindy called the school to request help. In her detailed description of Jessica's outfit, after-school plans, and tardiness, Cindy prompted the school to launch an investigation. Concerns intensified when Cindy revealed that Jessica did not have a bedroom, so the school brought in their resource officer. The events that followed took a surprising turn when the school resource officer approached Jessica in a covert manner, asking about her family life. Jessica gave a cautious response, saying only, "I'm not allowed to say." As a result, the school's efforts to resolve the issue unintentionally stoked a panic among parents, who then demanded answers about Jessica's situation, and speculation circulated online. The school scheduled a meeting with Jessica's parents in an attempt to address the community's worries and calm the rising unrest in response to the increasing pressure. As the school learned the terrible truth, that Jessica's father had passed away when she was only 4 years old, leaving only her mother to be summoned to such proceedings, the assumption that Jessica's parents would willingly attend any trial or hearing was shattered. What was even more tragic was the reality. In the end, Jessica's mom went before the principal and admitted that she had failed as a parent, but she also explained how they had ended up living in an unusual place, a scrapyard, to be exact, because they had no other choice after their car was wrecked and they had nowhere else to go. What's remarkable is that the scrapyard owner had been very kind to them, letting them stay in an old school bus that was on the property. The community's compassion grew as Jessica's mother shared their story. Realizing the struggles they had endured, parents, teachers, and supporters online came together to support Mary, Jessica's mother. Their combined efforts led to a major campaign to help them. Jessica was given new clothes, and they were given financial aid to rent a small apartment, giving Mary a second chance at rebuilding their lives. The outcome confirmed to Cindy that her maternal instincts were correct and that her doggedness had a significant and beneficial effect on Jessica's and her mother's lives. That's all about this story, and now let's watch the next one. An incident unfolded when a girl discreetly passed a note to her teacher, resulting in the principal summoning the police. The upbringing of Annabelle J., who spent her early years until the age of 11 in the basement of her parents' house, holds significance. Let's examine the sequence of events. Jane, an adventurous young girl, had lived her entire life in New Orleans with aspirations of becoming a writer. Her passion for literature had been nurtured since childhood, driving her to immerse herself in books. Despite losing her parents at the tender age of 3, she had resided with her aunt, though their relationship remained strained. Upon turning 18, she pursued her studies in literature after leaving home. Fond of social gatherings, she found herself stranded one night, awaiting transportation to a distant party venue. Frustrated by the lack of available transport, she attempted to hitchhike, eventually catching a ride with Louis, a charming and charismatic man also en route to a party. Their spontaneous decision led to a deep connection, with Jane feeling an intense attraction towards him. Convinced he could provide the support she yearned for, she abandoned her university studies and moved in with him, embarking on her journey towards becoming a writer. As their relationship blossomed and they tied the knot, Jane found herself on the brink of happiness. Yet, a lingering concern emerged. Louis remained evasive about his occupation. Despite this, their time together was so fulfilling that Jane overlooked the potential issue. After a year and a half of marriage, they decided to start a family. On a chilly November night, Jane gave birth to a beautiful baby, with Louis by her side. And together, they beheld their newborn baby for the first time. Jane brimmed with happiness and pride at what they had created together. Once the doctors assured them it was safe to bring their little one home, they eagerly embarked on the journey, heading towards their house. Jane was thrilled at the prospect of introducing their new family member to their home environment. Upon arriving, Louis assisted Jane in removing her coat. When she prepared to wash her hands, Louis abruptly grabbed. With eyes full of affection, proclaimed to Vanetta, "You're so beautiful, and I'm going to marry you someday." He even made a bold promise to build her a castle, a statement that sparked curiosity in Vanetta. How? She inquired with innocence. I don't know, but I will, Miguel responded with determination. Following this exchange, they engaged in a playful game of hide-and-seek in a nearby garden, thus sowing the seeds of a love story that would blossom beautifully over time. As the years passed, Miguel, at the age of 28, proposed to Vanetta, leading to a grand wedding celebration. By then, Miguel had followed in his father's footsteps, securing employment at the local mining company. The couple settled into a charming house provided by the company, a modest yet beautiful dwelling that they made their own. Despite the physically demanding nature of his job, Miguel persevered, driven by a commitment to support his family, even though he often struggled with the physical toll it took on his body, unlike his robust father. A pivotal moment came 5 years into Miguel's career when a catastrophic landslide occurred at the mine, sparing only a handful of lives, including Miguel's. This harrowing experience prompted Vanetta to urge her husband to reconsider his line of work. While Miguel did not immediately resign, he made a strategic purchase of a plot of land with aspirations of venturing into horticulture in the future. For the time being, the land remained untouched as he continued his work at the mine, unaware of the profound impact this land would eventually have on their lives. Fast forward 7 years, the couple was blessed with 3 children, Princess, Jonathan, and Leonardo, the youngest, who would later play a pivotal role in a most unexpected turn of events. Miguel's career at the mining company persisted, while Vanetta devoted herself to the upbringing of their children. Tragedy struck one evening when Miguel sustained a severe leg injury at work, rendering him temporarily immobile. Following a period of recovery, his employer granted him an extended leave, during which Miguel grew restless. Seeking a change of pace, Miguel decided to tend to the land he had previously set aside. On the 3rd day of working his land, he stumbled upon an unusual rock, noticeably lighter in color than the others he had encountered. Suspecting the presence of gold, Miguel commenced digging, quickly uncovering a small golden nugget. Overwhelmed with excitement, he hurried home to share the astonishing discovery with Vanetta, who was equally ecstatic. This moment marked the beginning of a new chapter for the family, one that promised to fulfill their dreams and significantly alter the course of their lives. Over the ensuing months, their fortune continued to swell as they unearthed additional golden nuggets, each more valuable than the last. This newfound wealth afforded the family a life of ease and luxury, far removed from the necessity of daily labor. Fulfilling a promise made in their youth, Miguel constructed a magnificent castle for Vanetta, and together with their family, they made it their home. As the years gracefully passed, fate smiled upon them once more when Miguel stumbled upon a golden nugget of unprecedented size, akin to a baseball. He discreetly chose a hiding spot for this treasure, sharing its location solely with his wife. One fateful day, their son Leonardo happened to overhear a conversation about this monumental nugget. Curiosity piqued, he inquired about its whereabouts that evening, only to be assured by his parents that the secret would be revealed in due time. Leonardo outwardly accepted this, yet internally, a relentless search commenced, albeit to no avail. Years transitioned into decades, and the couple, now basking in the tranquility of an empty nest, found their bond deepening with each passing day. However, tranquility was replaced with concern when, at the age of 70, Miguel fell gravely ill. He expressed his final wishes to his wife, urging her to safeguard their children's future. Despite her protests, Miguel's journey came to an end that very night, leaving a void in the hearts of his family. Following a dignified funeral, life attempted to resume its course, with Leonardo remaining by his mother's side. In the wake of his father's passing, Leonardo's fixation on the golden nugget intensified, leading to a confrontation that left both him and his mother in distress. As Vanetta grappled with the loss of Miguel, her health visibly deteriorated, manifesting in sleepless nights filled with conversations with her late husband. The grief morphed into depression, then into a tangible decline in her physical health, and eventually, alarming signs of dementia began to surface. Leonardo, consumed by his quest for the nugget, neglected his mother's deteriorating condition. Vanetta's moments of lucidity waned, yet she consistently claimed to remember the nugget's location. A statement that provided Leonardo with a glimmer of hope amidst his growing despair. Then, a heart-wrenching turn of events unfolded. Leonardo, hidden from view, listened as his mother engaged in a one-sided conversation, thanking Miguel and excitedly proclaiming their upcoming reunion. Bursting into her room, Leonardo found her radiating happiness, convinced of her imminent marriage to Miguel, who she believed was returning with a wedding dress from Paris. Faced with his mother's delusions, Leonardo chose not to confront her reality. Instead, he hatched a sinister plan, driven by desperation and the blinding allure of the golden nugget. On the third day of his elaborate scheme, Leonardo meticulously transformed himself into an image reminiscent of his late father. He carefully applied false beards along his jawline and donned his father's distinctive hat before making his way to Venita's chamber. The sight of him ignited a spark of recognition in Venita, who, overwhelmed by emotion, leaped from her seat. "Oh, my beloved, you have returned. Have you brought the wedding gown?" she exclaimed with hopeful anticipation. Leonardo, embracing his role fully, assured her with a gentle voice, "Absolutely, my dearest. There's nothing I wouldn't do for you." In a dramatic gesture, he knelt before her, extending a heartfelt, albeit deceptive, proposal of marriage. Venita's response was a joyous scream of acceptance. Leonardo then presented her with a magnificent wedding gown, which, upon trying on, transformed Venita into a vision of regal beauty, much like a queen adorned for her coronation. Later that day, Leonardo, fueled by a mix of anticipation and nervous excitement, hastened to the local church. There, he shared with the priest his mother's long-held desire to renew her wedding vows with his father in their twilight years. He painted a picture of a sentimental ceremony that could serve as a beacon of hope and healing for Venita, who had been grappling with profound mental distress since his father's passing. Touched by Leonardo's apparent devotion, the priest readily agreed to officiate the ceremony, commending Leonardo for his selflessness. The wedding day dawned, casting an ethereal glow on Venita, whose radiant beauty seemed to draw light from the very heavens. Leonardo, too, cut a dashing figure in his tuxedo, though his expression bore a mix of wild ambition and concealed avarice. Beneath the brim of his hat, his eyes flickered with the unmistakable glint of greed. He was on the verge of realizing his long-concocted plan, and he was determined not to let anything thwart his efforts. However, as the ceremony reached its pivotal moment, the exchange of wedding rings, Venita, blissfully unaware of the impending revelation, requested Leonardo to remove his hat. It was a simple ask, motivated by nothing more than a desire for unobstructed eye contact in that intimate moment. Reluctantly complying, Leonardo hoped against hope that his true identity would remain undiscovered. Yet, the instant his hat was removed, the facade crumbled. Venita's scream pierced the solemnity of the church as recognition dawned upon her, the shockwave of realization jolted her back to full lucidity. She remembered her husband's death and the unthinkable lengths to which her son would go for the sake of greed. Heartbroken, she fled the church. Humiliated and now exposed, Leonardo too made a swift exit, vanishing into obscurity. Venita, her mind cleared by the harrowing ordeal, continued to honor her husband's memory and took legal measures to ensure Leonardo would inherit nothing from her. In a tragic twist of fate, the parents had originally intended to bequeath half of their considerable fortune to Leonardo. Yet, his insatiable greed and impulsive scheming cost him everything. This tale serves as a poignant reminder that the dual forces of greed and impatience can indeed be the downfall of even the most meticulously laid plans. After watching this story, how do you feel? Then there is another story about Laura's wedding. Let's continue. Radiant and youthful, Laura meticulously prepared for her momentous day, set to marry the man who had captured her heart. Amidst the flurry of preparations, whispers and rumors began to weave through the crowd. The chatter ranged from incredulous laughter to whispered speculations, primarily because her soon-to-be husband was significantly older than she was. Yet, when the pivotal moment arrived, and the priest posed the crucial question, Laura's response was a resolute and heartfelt, "I do." This love story began in the wake of a profound loss. Adams Oshimo, a distinguished politician from Edo State, Nigeria, had once shared a deep love with his first wife, Clara. Clara, a woman of grace and beauty, had been a pillar of support for Adams, sharing his dreams and bearing him 5 children. Their love story was one for the ages until tragedy struck, and Clara succumbed to breast cancer at the age of 54. Devastated, Adams found himself adrift in grief, struggling to move on and unable to forge new romantic connections. 5 years passed before fate intervened, bringing Lara into Adams's life. Hailing from Cape Verde, Lara's journey had taken her from her birthplace to the Netherlands at the tender age of 3. It was there, far from her African roots, that she grew up, unknowingly on a path that would lead her into Adams's arms. Lara, with her striking beauty, had once graced the modeling world, but her ambitions didn't stop there. She pursued an education in law, earning her degree from a prestigious university in the Netherlands. Her adventurous spirit eventually led her to become an air hostess for Emirates Airlines, a job that would serendipitously place her on a flight with Adams. From their very first encounter, Adams was captivated by Lara's beauty and warmth. A swift exchange of contacts led to a whirlwind romance, and within months, the 63-year-old widower knew he had found his second chance at love with the 33-year-old Lara. Proposing marriage, Adams was met with a joyful yes, and the wedding planning began. On May 15, 2015, the couple celebrated their union in Adams's home state of Edo, Nigeria. Lara's family made the journey from the Netherlands to witness the joyous occasion, while Adams's family, including his mother and children from his previous marriage, warmly welcomed Lara into their fold. The wedding was a notable event, not just for the couple but for the entire state, as Adams held the esteemed position of governor. Distinguished guests, including the president, vice president, a host of former and current governors, royal dignitaries, and esteemed Nigerians, came to celebrate the love and happiness that Adams and Lara found in each other. The reception was a vibrant affair, with the couple's evident joy and love for each other inspiring everyone present. They danced with abandon, their happiness infectious, drawing everyone into their celebration. However, the following day, the internet buzzed with less than kind comments. Critics focused on superficial differences, labeling Lara as a gold digger and critiquing the couple's age and appearance disparities. Despite the negativity, the love and connection between Adams and Lara remained unshaken. They had found in each other a soulmate, a partner to share life's journey with, proving that love knows no bounds, and sometimes, it's the unexpected paths that lead us to our heart's true home. Rumors swirled around Lara and Adams, with many suggesting that Lara had only married Adams for his considerable wealth, intending to depart once his fortunes were depleted. This narrative was fueled by several harsh articles that scrutinized their relationship with unkind speculation. Some of these articles boldly claimed that their marriage was nothing more than a transaction, expected to dissolve as soon as Adams's term as governor concluded. Despite the harsh scrutiny, the bond between Lara and Adams only grew stronger in the face of adversity. Determined to rise above the negativity, Lara and Adams made a conscious decision to focus on their family and the joy of their life together, dismissing the naysayers and detractors. Lara was a constant presence by Adams's side, embodying the role of a supportive partner and the governor's wife with grace and dedication. Adams, when questioned about his reasons for marrying Lara, praised her understanding and humble nature. He admired her for her deep comprehension of the demands of his job, her acceptance of his imperfections, and her intuitive grasp of his needs, whether for solitude or comfort. Adams highlighted her pivotal role in their household and her loving relationship with his children, whom she embraced as her own despite not being their biological mother. Adams' mother openly expressed her approval of Lara, noting that her foreign background had no bearing on the positive impact she had on their family dynamic. She lauded Lara for proving any skeptics wrong and for being instrumental in her son's happiness. Over time, even the initial reservations about the age difference between Lara and Adams faded within the family, as everyone came to accept and appreciate Lara's presence. However, the couple's happiness seemed to irk some, leading to the spread of a new rumor by the end of Adams's gubernatorial term in 2016. Speculation about their impending separation surged, with claims that Lara had filed for divorce, marking the end of their so-called marriage contract. This rumor was met with a mix of vindication from those who had doubted the couple's intentions from the start and disappointment from those who admired their union. Although the couple's active engagement on social media, which had previously showcased their solidarity, this rumor led many to believe that their relationship had indeed been a facade. Yet, through all the trials and tribulations, Lara and Adams's commitment to each other remained unwavering. They demonstrated that their marriage, far from being a mere contract or arrangement, was built on a foundation of mutual respect, understanding, and genuine love. Following the swirl of rumors, Laura was conspicuously absent from public appearances alongside Adams. During a period marked by Adams' political controversies, Laura remained notably silent, failing to publicly support her husband, which was out of character for her. Similarly, Adams refrained from mentioning Laura, leading many to speculate that their marriage had disintegrated, assuming that they had amicably parted ways. However, in a surprising turn of events in 2021, Laura made a public appearance with Adams, dispelling rumors of separation or divorce. This unexpected reconciliation delighted their supporters and dismayed their critics. Laura had chosen to maintain a low profile in response to relentless online harassment. With Adams stepping back from the political limelight, she felt less compelled to seek public attention. Adams showed his support for Lara's decision, demonstrating their mutual respect and deep affection within their marriage. When Laura re-emerged in the public eye in 2021, gossip bloggers reignited speculation, suggesting Adams had orchestrated her appearance to quash separation rumors. However, the notion that Adams would wait nearly 5 years to address such rumors seemed implausible. Despite continued negative commentary, on April 4, 2022, Adams and Laura were seen joyfully dancing together at Adams' 70th birthday celebration. At this point, Laura, now 40, radiated happiness and love for her husband. Their public display of affection silenced critics, affirming the authenticity of their bond and proving that age was merely a number in their relationship. Adam expressed profound contentment in their long-standing marriage, stating, "We've been married for many years now, and I have no regrets, none. She brings immense joy into my life, and I am grateful for such a wonderful partner. We learned early on that external opinions are irrelevant. We live by our values, not by societal expectations, which is why we never felt compelled to address the rumors." What are your thoughts on the enduring love story of Adams and Laura? How does the age difference between you and your partner influence your relationship? Share your experiences and opinions in the comments section below. That's all about our story. If you like this story, please like and subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next story.